Welcome to the Sexy Freedom Media Podcast, a place to discuss pain, passion, and pursuits.
Let's get it. I want to feel alive.
Breathe.
Make some moves.
Protect the throne. This is Sexy Freedom Media Podcast.
Welcome to the Sexy Freedom Media Podcast. It's your host, Helen Edwards-Ann.
January Liddell. Aloha, everyone.
Today we have an awesome guest. She's one of my dear friends all the way in Casper, Wyoming. Her name is Merrily Johnston. Merrily, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for inviting me.
Also known as Merrily the Clown.
Yes.
Hence our shirts. Hold on, let me see if we can show you. Woo, look at that. Yeah.
Now, people know you as Merrily Aggard, right? On Facebook.
That's my maiden name, and I just never switched it on Facebook. But my real name is Merrily Johnston.
Awesome. So Merrily, one of the reasons why we wanted to have you on as our guest is because you are a very well-known clown, and clown is your profession here in Casper. Can you tell us more about your profession, what drew you to it, and how long you've been doing your profession for?
Yes, I have been a clown for 27 years. The thing that drew me to it was I loved balloon animals, and I would stand in line with all the little kids to get a balloon. And then when people would get behind me, I would feel embarrassed that I was standing in the way of those little kids getting their balloons. So I decided I wanted to learn how to do it. So I talked to a friend of mine who was a clown, and he started teaching me. And he said, "You know what, Merrily, you'd be a great clown." And I said, "You can't just be a clown." And he said, "Sure you can." So he introduced me to the right people, and there you have it.
I would love to know, like, what was the process? So he introduced you to this clown, and then what happened?
Well, I took some lessons from a ringling trained, and after taking some lessons with him, we decided to partner up, and so I worked with him for several years. And then I went to a lot of conventions that teach you everything from face painting to balloons to comedy magic to crazy things like tripping and water spitting and pie throwing.
Okay, so I would love to know why would you like to be a clown? Like what was the main reason besides balloon animals?
Well, truthfully, I absolutely love kids. And in fact, I'm just a big kid myself. And I love to see people with their smiles. I love the laughter, especially that big belly laughter when kids think something's really funny. And it's really important to me to make kids feel special and to feel loved.
What I thought was really interesting is when you mention the word clown, there's all this stigma around it, and it's usually more negative than positive. So when I actually met you and we started talking about it, and I've seen you do your work, and you've even painted my face, there's something different about the way you do your process. You're very unique. You're non-threatening at all. You're not scary. Like when people think of clowns, they're like, "Oh, I'm scared. I don't trust clowns. I don't this." And it's just so negative. And even when I started Googling it, I was looking at the history and trying to learn more about clowns. I was thinking to myself, why is there so much fear around it? And then here you are, you're just like, "I don't care. I'm going to do what I want to do, what I'm drawn towards," which is really interesting in the aspect of following your passion. Would you feel this is your passion?
It is definitely my passion. I've always been drawn towards this type of thing. I knew that I needed to work with kids, and it's definitely my passion.
I love that Helen brought that up because so to be honest with you, Merrily, I'm actually scared of clowns. And the reason why I was scared of clowns is obviously because of it. And I watched that movie, and that movie just freaked me out. And so, I mean, I'm much better now, obviously, but I will have to say that it just terrified me to see a clown. I just did not want to see a clown. But so part of the reason why I got this shirt is I love you. I think you're amazing.
Oh.
And I feel like we do have to, like Helen was mentioning, destigmatize the whole idea of a clown being scary and all that. And I love that you said that you love hearing the belly laughter and you love seeing the joy on people's faces. So I want to know, like, what was one of your favorite memories in your initial, because I want to do it by segments, like phases. So in your initial time as a first clown, like a beginner, rookie clown, what was your first amazing memory?
I would say probably my first amazing memory was when I actually had to do something I felt quite uncomfortable with. And it was where you just go around and interact with people. You don't have any set thing that you're doing, but it was at a fair. And I I actually just sat down in one of the little children's chairs and just barely fit in it. And so when I stood up, it stuck with me. So I turned around and looked around like, hey, what happened to my chair? And kids were like, it's behind you. And so I turned around and no, it's not there. And they're like, it's behind you, turn around. So in that little reaction, I got some good belly laughs.
Oh my God, I love that. I mean, that's very comical. That's what clowns would do. And you kind of did it without even realizing it. That's pretty awesome. I wanted to share just a little bit of history about clowns. The most ancient clowns have been found in the 5th dynasty of Egypt around 2400 BC. And I was just like, wow. And actually, traditionally, the roles of priest and clowns have been held by the same person. It's I don't know if you know a huge history about it, but I love history. And the reason I say this is because it was meant originally to be performance, to actually combine the soul, what you're talking about, the belly laugh. It's meant to bring joy to people's life. The clowning is often considered an important part of training as a physical performance discipline, partly because tricky subject matter can be dealt with, but also because it requires a high level of risk and play in performance. And I could see that when you were talking about this last example. One of the things that, I don't often share is my first entrepreneurial experience was I was a clown. I was Boogaloo the clown. I think I was 12 or 13. My mom taught me how to juggle. And she used to own a Halloween store. And she got me my first clown costume. And it was this huge, I mean, there was a wire behind me. So it was super big and chunky and thick. And I just looped around with, as a clown. And she even made me these neon cards that said, Helen Uvias, my maiden name Uvias, clown for hire. And I used to go to kids' parties and do all these fun tricks and everything I knew. And the one thing that's always stuck with me is juggling. I still know how to juggle to this day. But then, like January, I watched it. I heard of all these fears around it. And even in podcasts, when I search other podcasts, there's I mean, probably maybe one I found that was talking about the history and the positive aspect of it. And it's like, okay, as with everything, chocolate. You can have too much chocolate, it can become a negative. It's the same thing with everything, including our professions, financial strategists that we are. There can be negatives to it, but there's also a lot of positives. Same with yours, Merrily. I think I love you being on here and being kind of like talking about your experience because there's so many positives to it. So much that you love what you do. And you even recently went to a clown convention, right? Over in New York
Yes, I
City.
did.
I want to
Yes.
hear more about that.
Well, it was actually in Niagara Falls. I was 5 minutes walking distance from Niagara Falls. But the clown convention, it was an international convention. So people were there from all over the world. Our headliner, Shaggy, was from Puerto Rico. We had a guy from Malaysia, somebody from Indonesia. But anyway, the people from all over teaching and competing and just learning to become better clowns. And truthfully, the best part of that convention is just the love that everyone shared with each other and helping each other get better at things.
And I believe you got an award for #1 or top face painter. Is that correct?
Yes, I did. In fact, I brought so everybody could see. It's a little, I don't know if you can see it well enough, but it's a little balloon dog, but it's also a Bluetooth speaker. And that I won for my, they called it the face painting challenge. They did something new this year where we could bring our paints, but we weren't allowed to bring brushes or sponges or anything. And they gave us a bag of things that we could use, which included a rock, a plastic fork, a plastic spoon, a Q-tip, a feather, and a makeup sponge. And that's all we could use to paint with. So yeah, that was really fun.
That is insane. And I saw the picture, and hopefully once our viewers and our, our listeners hear where we can find you, they'll see that picture. That's amazing that you use that. So which tools did you use, or did you use all of them?
I tried to use all of them. The only one I didn't use was the plastic fork, but I did use the plastic spoon. And the guy in charge was walking around watching people, and he said, I haven't seen anyone use the rock yet. So I picked up the rock and used the rock to make teeth. And yeah, it was definitely challenging and definitely fun. I also won a few more awards. Do you guys want to hear about those as well? I won a first place for my skit that I did. It was a comedy skit. And here's my little awards that I won for my skit, and then my parade ability, which is basically you do what you would do in a parade. And then I also won the Editor's Choice Award for my articles that I write in the Calliope magazine, which is the international clown magazine.
Wow, that's amazing. It's very inspirational, Merrily. I got to ask you, was there a time during your process that you were just like, I don't know if I want to do this? You started questioning yourself with this journey, with this profession, that you were just like, I want to quit, but that passion still lived inside you where you didn't.
Yes. I never really wanted to quit, but I felt a lot of pressure to quit. I had people, including my now ex-husband and my parents and a lot of my friends, ask me, when are you going to get a real job? And I was like, this is a real job. And it takes a long time to actually be able to make money doing what you love sometimes. But I had enough passion for this that I just kept at it. And my husband now is like my partner. He helps me with everything. So he's very supportive. And I have a lot of friends who are very supportive as well.
I love that. I love that you have a lot of support. I love that you overcame all those adversities and all of the naysayers, because that takes a lot. And I commend you for just going past all that. And you're like, you know what, you just followed your heart. And I love that you did that. So congratulations on all your awards. I did not know all of those other awards because I don't think you actually posted them, or maybe I missed it. But congratulations. Is there a video of your skit out there?
There is a video out there, and I feel like I may have put it up on Facebook, and now I don't remember if I did for sure. But I'll have to check on that and see if I did. There is a video.
Well, I absolutely love that you bring you bring kids joy, you bring me joy, adults included. So I just would love to see you in person. That's probably one of the things that I'm kind of bummed about. Like, I know I've messaged you, I'm like, I would love for you to do my face painting. And back to the face painting, that's phenomenal that you used a rock, a spoon. I can't remember the other items you mentioned, but several other items, and you didn't use the fork. The fork was actually the one tool I thought you would use. So I'm kind of surprised that you didn't. But congratulations on all your awards. And one day when we will meet, then I'd love for you to do my face.
I look forward to that, January.
Merrily, what's one of your favorite skits or things you like to do a part of your profession? Is it face painting? Is that your favorite? Is it showing up at parties? Is it making balloons? Because you make some fantastic balloon art.
Oh my goodness, that's such a hard question. And I will tell you that has changed over time. When I first started, my very favorite was face painting. And then I went through a stage where I was like, I think balloons are my favorite now. And I think for a while, those two were more favorite than comedy magic because I just didn't do as much comedy magic. But I really love that now too. So I love them all. It's very, very hard to tell what my favorite part is. But if I had to say one favorite part, it would be actually interacting with the kids.
Okay, so back to the memory. So your favorite memory was in the beginning when you first started was when you sat on a chair and then the chair, and it sounds like you did it impromptu because I don't think you had to do it, so that's pretty amazing. So now moving forward, right? Because you've been in this business for 27 years now, correct? Okay.
Yes.
So now in your 10th year, okay, so in your 10th year, like your mid-year, what is another favorite memory that you had?
Oh, okay. One that comes to mind is I was doing a stage show and way up high on this big stage where you had to come up several, I'm going to say 12 to 15 steps to actually get up on the stage. And I was doing this skit where it was called Tacky Trash. So there's trash on the stage and I'm picking it up, but there's a hole in my bag. And so the trash keeps falling out. So this little girl comes up out of the audience, walks all the way up those stairs on the stage, and she says, "I will help you, Mrs. Clown." And she just started helping me pick up the trash, and it was just so adorable.
That's so sweet. So you, in the midst of you doing your performance and showcasing your skills, you really see that human interaction and the humanness of people. And I'm so happy to hear that this little girl, that gives me hope, this little girl and then helped you. So that's so sweet. Are there interactions with adults that you may remember in your past or currently?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, goodness. I think I want to say one of my favorite interactions with adults is just that they will come up and hug me and tell me they love me.
I know the Wyoming Women's Network loves you. That's where
Thank you.
that's where we initially met. And you've been there and you've done skits for us, and everybody just cracks up and laughs. And you really do bring so much joy and lightness to the room, and it allows everybody just to kind of go into their inner child mode because you bring out the playfulness with everybody. And I think that's so important and something that we often forget, especially as businesswomen, when we're just go, go, go. It's like, oh, wait, Merrily didn't show up as Merrily today. She showed up as Merrily the Clown, and she's going to bring some laughter and fun and festivities to this room. And it's so awesome. You're Merrily the Clown. Did you decide to go with Merrily the Clown as the name, or were you kind of thinking about other names, but you were just like, this is easier?
Well, when I was first starting out, I thought, when I was thinking of my name, I thought, okay, I want my clown name to be something unique. I don't want to be, there's a whole bunch of people who are pockets and bubbles and all of that. And then I also wanted to be something happy. And then I was like, duh, Merrily is a happy name and that's unique. So that's why I went with Merrily the Clown. And I did want to add another adult interaction that came to my mind was from a stage show that I did. And after it was over, there was a lady who came up to me and she took her scarf off of her neck and gave it to me. And she said, "I just want you to know that you touched my heart, Merrily, and this is a very special scarf to me, and I want to give it to you." That meant a lot to me.
Oh, what a beautiful story. That's so sweet. So, I'm sure you're not getting millions and millions of dollars doing this, although you should, because you're touching and impacting so many lives. But really, this is like straight from the heart, and what you are passionate about, and you just love to give. And I see it in your smile, I see it in your aura. um I love that story. I'm hoping this woman will hear that story. Is this a woman in Casper, or is she somewhere else?
No, I saw her at a stage show I did in Oregon. And so I have no idea if she'll ever see this. And I don't know her name. I know she told me her name, but it was somebody I had never met before. And it was just amazing that I touched her that much that she wanted to come up and let me know.
So you got number one in articles that you write, and I didn't even know there was a clown magazine. That's pretty
Uh-huh.
cool. It sounds like it's a subculture, there's all sorts of different cultures, and clowns are another subculture. So what kind of articles do you write in that magazine?
I write balloon articles to teach other people how to make unique balloons that I've come up with myself. And so they actually show pictures and then instructions so other people can make their own.
I don't think a lot of people really give you credit for your profession and how challenging these can be at first, learning all of these projects and these skills. What would you say to your past self? That saying, do something now that your future self will thank you for. Is there a moment you can look back on to your past self and say, I'm so thankful that you what?
I would just say I'm so thankful that I didn't listen to all the negative people, that I knew this was my passion. I knew this is what I wanted it with all my heart to do. And I would just say, just keep going, just keep going. You're doing great and you're going to keep learning. And to me, that's the important part of what I do, is just to keep learning and growing and helping others learn and grow.
I was hoping to see you in your costume today. So do you have like one costume, or are there several different costumes that you wear?
I have several different costumes. I make my own costumes, so they're kind of unique to me. Um, but yeah, I asked Helen if she wanted me to come as myself or as a clown, and she said to come as myself, so that's why I'm me. Um, but yeah, I my basic outfit usually is a vest and pants. Some clowns wear dresses, and yeah, that's one of my outfits that I made for myself. So
No wonder you got the creativity award.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much creativity goes into everything you're doing. And especially for 27 years, you're probably constantly thinking like, what can I do that's new? And you mentioned that you create balloons, these
uh-huh.
new balloon structures. I've seen some of your balloons here in town, and I've received some from you, and I think, oh my gosh, these are so cool. I love them. But, just thinking about all your skills, did you learn from, just like you said, you started going to the conventions early on? Were you watching videos? Did you just start practicing on your own? Like, how did that process go?
Well, this kind of will date me a little bit, but there was no YouTube or videos even to watch when I first learned that you could get books. And I tried that, and I do not learn well from books. I like to see what to do. And so that's why I had that guy, his name is Glenn, that taught me how to do balloons. Um, but it's gone from that to the conventions, and now you can learn so much online. And but truthfully, the ones that I create, a lot of times I'll just dream about them because things like that are always on my mind.
For some of us, like myself, who have not seen your balloons, can you share how they look, and what's your most creative balloon that you've created?
Oh, wow. I can say, follow me on Facebook and you'll see lots of balloons that I create. I don't have a picture hit with me right now. I just made a bouquet for someone yesterday. So if I still had that here, I'd show you. But I forgot what the what the rest of what you asked me was.
But what was your most creative balloon that you
Oh,
made?
wow. Well, I can say the biggest balloon that I've ever made was a sailboat for a car company. They wanted it, that was their theme. It was probably about, I'm going to say 8 feet long by 6 feet tall. Recently I did, last year for Parade Day, I created a cowboy, he was probably about 6 feet tall. Uh, I've created a lot of things. It's hard to think of what would be the most creative.
I've seen the one here in Casper when you did the big cowboy one. That was pretty epic.
Thank you.
What would you tell somebody out there who's thinking about doing the clown as a profession, but they're, sometimes they think, oh, just the circus is the only path to go. You being somebody very knowledgeable about the industry probably knows that there's way more things you can do with the clown profession. What would you tell them, like, hey, there's more out there that you can do with this skill, with this profession?
Well, I would say you can entertain at anything as a clown, from weddings to, I've even had people do funerals. I haven't myself done one, but for other clowns, they want it to be fun. That just any kind of event, school events, church events, you name it, any kind of party, anything you want more people to attend, anything you want to be more fun. It's always more fun with a clown.
I've seen clowns perform at restaurants that have this uniqueness that they want to bring. And clowns, what's interesting when I started learning about clowns when I was younger is they all don't look alike. How you said, you dress in different types of, makeup and characters. I really love the creative art that each clown specifically and intentionally brings to their masterpiece. So that's pretty cool.
I also love the fact that you created a 6 feet tall or 8 feet wide balloon. I've never seen that in my life. We have balloon artists here, in fact, and I'm going to shout out to my friend Richard Bautista. So I'm going to shout out him. He's a balloon artist here, and he's created balloons, and I thought his were big. He created like this huge like monster truck. But it wasn't 6 feet tall. I'm pretty sure it was like maybe 3 or 4 feet. So it wasn't as big as yours, but I would love to see it. So thank you for sharing that, because otherwise I would not have known.
You're welcome.
Yeah, the reason I asked for Merrily to show up as herself is because I love that, I love you. I think you're gorgeous and I love your energy. And I definitely have seen the growth in just the limited time that I've seen you, which is not that long since I've known you, a few years. But I've seen just you blossom and just your business is even growing immensely since I've known you. And 27 years, it's like, oh wow, she's still going, still doing these things. And especially being entrepreneurs and knowing the difficulty, like you said, I'm glad I didn't listen to those naysayers. And I'm pretty sure you still face some challenges to this day, but you seem like you're a lot more stronger and everybody's in to help you and push you to grow. What do you do to water yourself, to water your own profession, your own entrepreneurship spirit inside Merrily Johnston? What do you do?
Well, I will tell you a big part of that growth, my recent growth, is I read a book called The 5 a.m. Club. And so now every morning I get up at 5 a.m. and I have 3 things that I do. Number 1 is my gratitude journal and prayer. Number 2 is reading a good book, self-help or inspirational book. And then number 3 is journaling and morning pages, which is basically just writing all your thoughts down. You don't think about it, you just write fast. And those things have really, really helped me be able to focus more and be able to grow as far as knowing who I am and who I want to be and where I want to go. And growth has always been just an important part of my life to me.
So speaking of growth, what is your next level? What do you want to accomplish in your next level?
Well, I would say probably my biggest next goal would be to become Clowns of America International Clown of the Year. That's a huge goal for me, but that would be just a really big award.
I love that for you, Merrily. Oh my gosh. I see it
Thank
happening.
you.
Yes,
Thanks, Helen.
we're gonna claim it for you that you're gonna have this.
Thank you, January.
When is this? When is this? I'm assuming it's a contest.
It's an annual thing, Clown of the Year, but it's not really a contest as much as it is other of your peers, clowns, they have to what is the word I'm looking for? Nominate you. They have to nominate you. So they have to write all the reasons they think you should be the Clown of the Year. And then they have to also get, I don't know, 5 or 6 other clowns to write in and, and support that. So then then there's a committee to pick who the Clown of the Year would be.
We believe in you. We know you. We're gonna send all this to clowns. We're gonna hashtag clowns.
Thank you. I love it.
So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. But before we do, Merrily, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to who's helped you along this journey?
Oh my goodness. There are so many people. I am just going to give a huge shout out to all of my clown friends, and especially even my new clown friends who I just met this year at the clown convention. And my family and my friends. Shout out to all of you. Mwah. Love you all.
Merrily, I wanted to know, what is the last thing that you want to leave for our listeners? What is a message that you want to say? One, for those that may still be afraid of clowns. Two, those that do support clowns. And three, what's your message that you want to just give to the world?
Oh, wow. That's a lot for me to remember. Okay. So first of all, my message that I want to give to the world is the world needs more love and laughter. Be that light, be that light, be that love. Show your love. Don't hide it. Make everyone feel special. Make everyone feel loved. Okay. Tell me Kim, what were the other things you wanted me to say?
To those that were afraid of clowns.
Oh, real clowns are not scary. Real clowns are loving, and real clowns will make you feel special and make you feel loved. If that person that is calling themselves a clown is not making you feel special or loved or afraid, especially, it's not a real clown.
And then finally, to those who actually love and support clowns.
Thank you. You're the best. Mwah.
Okay, where can we find you, Merrily?
Well, I am at Old Chicago every Wednesday from 5 to 8. If you want to find me on Facebook, you can look under Merrily Agard, Agard, or you can look under Merrily the Clown, and it's spelled like the adverb, Merrily. And yeah, please do find me. I would love to hear any comments or questions.
Helen, where can we find you?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Merrily, for coming on. You can find me, Helen Edwards, on Sexy Freedom Media or at Hell of a Journey. You can follow me on Facebook, Helen Edwards, or just Google me. And don't forget to check out my other podcast, Your Morning Sauce, which is a quick little snack bite of inspiration and empowerment to help you get through your day. January, what about you?
You can find me on Facebook, Anchored Financial LLC. Also on Instagram, Anchored Financial LLC. I'm just thinking, I'm wondering if I change it, but it will be LLC. You can also find me, Alina, the honeymaker.com. That is a new book that's coming out shortly. We're about to put the content onto the illustrations. It is a children's financial literacy book about this cute little bee who goes out and really wants to buy this big thing. And she talks with her mom and she plans it. Anyway, I can't give you all of the things that's going on in that book, but it is definitely a financial literacy book. It has money affirmations, glossary, along with money facts. So a great book to teach kids about finances. And January Liddell on Facebook. I'm an open book. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Merrily, for being here. You're such a joy. I'm so happy to see you and happy that we got this time to spend together, and excited to see your skit and all the balloons that you created.
Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Aloha.
Want to hear more?
Visit us at sexyfreedommedia.com.